Good evening. Good evening, everyone, to this Saturday night number 51 of the Speak Up Club by Living Life. Last week, we celebrated a wonderful milestone 50th meeting, and here we are today, beginning with our innings towards the next 50 possibly, and waiting for the celebrating 100th session. Today's session is about lessons for life. The last 50 weeks, we have had different sessions of all kinds. You talk of communication mastery, or you talk of inspiration series, you talk of impromptu sessions or the open mics. Each session, not just from us, but from everyone who has participated, they've got different perspectives about different themes impacting our life, be it personal, professional, or something deep within, and dealing with every facet. As a student for Akanksha, as a businessman for Hasanuddin, as someone who's looking for answers in finances like Talat, or someone as a teacher in Rabia, or someone as a language trainer for Uma ma'am. Each one have had their opportunity in these sessions to expose themselves, to experience for themselves different facets of life and share with us their perspective and take from each one of us a perspective which can help them become better versions of themselves. Having said that, it's time to look back. While still not being limited to these 50 sessions, I understand a lot of you all might not have been there regularly and for all the sessions. If you have any memory, specific things about any session that you look back and see and think that you have had a great learning from it, some learning which can possibly be shared with us, because the perspective and the reflection that you would have got could be a little different from what we presented. And so we'd like to listen to your stories today. Your stories, not about the praise for the session, but about what went in while you listened to something. What was your reflection while you were listening to what each one of us, each of the participants was presenting over here? Having said that, I'm looking for how did a certain experience in your world change it for yourself, and help us, share with us so that we can take in that perspective, soak in that perspective, and become better versions with a different perspective. Thank you everyone for joining in today. Let's begin with the session. And who'll come first? Sharing a moment, an experience, a learning, a perspective. Wherever you want to begin from, each one of y'all, this is an open mic session and the stage is all yours to share your story. Who'd like to go first? Akanksha, yes, I know, you're ready.
Good evening, everyone. This is Akanksha. So I'm going to share my entire journey with Speak Up Club and Living Life, as well as some special moment with a realization which I've had. So it was the mid of May, completely bored with the lockdown, nothing great to do. And that's when a friend of mine shared the link to a WhatsApp group named Speak Up Club. I asked what it was about, and she said that they're going to have sessions to improve your communication skills and all. So obviously, I found it interesting and I joined the group. The first session was on May 23rd, a Saturday. It was just an introductory session, but the way it was presented made me come back to the next session, which was on a Tuesday. So I came back again for the next session, came back again, and again, and here I am attending my 50th session, and it's almost 1 year with Living Life in Speak Up Club. Last Saturday, Rahul sir asked me to share any moment that has created an impact on my life with a completely different perspective. And it was really hard to think of one memory. It's not about my bad memory here, but almost every perspective shared here had an impact on my thought process. Speak Up Club has really made me view so many things in my life from a completely different perspective. So after a lot of thinking and all, I plan to share this one moment, which has changed my way of thinking so much. I don't exactly remember which session it was. Maybe it was Career Connect, but whichever it was, the moment was when I asked Rahul sir that why so many subjects for a student, which are like almost overboarding for everyone. And actually, why are they necessary in a student's life? Being a student, and as facing all this, I obviously had this thinking that when a teacher can't teach all subjects, how can a student study all of them at once? And to be really honest, we should accept that few things are sometimes typical. So most of them won't be useful in our daily life. So when I put forth this question of mine, the answer was really simple. If these subjects weren't taught, many wouldn't actually choose these streams or the careers related to it, and they wouldn't have been in their current profession. Now, for example, if we never had biology, who knows, maybe we wouldn't have a doctor who is working right now. So that way, I realized that this was actually true, and I mused over and started viewing this too many subjects topic from a different perspective. So that was a memory that I wanted to share today. And the memories I personally share with this club are just too many, and my gratefulness for living life just can't be expressed by mere words. Thanks a lot, Rahul sir and Pragya ma'am, for each and every session and this initiative we all have started with. And it has really had a huge impact on my life with different perspectives from diverse people. Thank you, Living Life.
Thank you, Akanksha. You've come a long way in the last 1 year, I must say. That idea with regard to what she's sharing, I'll just add to that perspective for everyone's benefit, for the ones who are not able to, were not there in that session. The idea was simple, that the question was, why do we have so many subjects? The idea is simple, that if something like history wasn't taught as or introduced to someone in a school, how would historians be modern? If geography wasn't introduced in the school, how would someone's flair for travel fire up? If science, biology wasn't taught, how would someone know that he wants to aspire to become a doctor or something specific? The reason I'm using the word introduce is because what you get through in the first up until 10th standard or something is mere introduction of the subject and not the subject in itself. And that's where, like Akanksha said, the idea is to expose yourself, not just up until 10th. I expose myself even today. Like, just to give you an example, the last 4 months for me have been very exhaustive because I decided to start pursuing professional coaching. I could very well just sit down and say that I have a business, I'm running this initiative, Living Life, I'm more than happy with it. Unless I expose myself to something new, something challenging, something creative, how will I find if there was something better for me in life? The reason I'm able to find something is because I've exposed myself. Not every exposure will give you results, but yes, only the exposure will give you the possibilities of creating something better for your life. Thanks for that wonderful lesson, Akanksha. Thank you. Who would go next? Hasunin, sir?
Okay, sir. Yeah, good evening, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. Actually, the first thing I learned in this Zoom session is speak up. I was a kind of less speaker guy, something shy also, something introvert. But the good thing I learned in this session is just speak up. While you speak up, you open up and you come up with your real emotions. This is the first thing that I learned in this. And in one of our sessions, I remember, which changed my life, or it made me to think deeply into my one of the qualities. In one of our speak up sessions, Rahul sir conducted one kind of activity, that is balloon blowing. You remember, sir? Yeah. He asked us to keep at least 10 balloons with us. And when we were ready, he asked us to blow. Then I thought actually it was a kind of race. And I started blowing quickly. And I could blow 3 balloons, and the fourth was a little like half. So he asked us to stop. Then he questioned, which I never expected, that Did I ask you to blow as many as possible? No, he didn't ask. He asked us to just blow. And who are you racing with? Had you blown one balloon perfectly and showed me one balloon, I would have been happy, right, sir? So really, that was actually my problem in my life. You know, I was a kind of production guy actually. You know, our duty is to increase the production speed, time pressure, all this throughout my life. I was like, 28 years I'm in the production line now. I am now 53. So being a production person, my attitude was always like running the task as fast as possible. So this happened with my family members also. I was thinking that I was just caring them as much as possible, but there was always been dissatisfaction, some complaints with employees or some family member. I used to think, why, even though I'm doing so much for them and still there is dissatisfaction. It is called this example, 3.5 balloons. 3.5 balloons was my change of my life. And then also regarding business, in one of our, this is my second change of attitude in this business perception. One of the sessions I asked Rahul sir to how to deal with the customers when they are dictating their terms. Then he said, just look into how you can turn the table. This phrase, turn the table, not only helped me in improving my business, also helped me improving in my personal life. Wherever I think that other person is dictating, so I used to think of how can I turn the table, how can I bring those terms and conditions from my side. And last but not the least, third, I always used to surprise how this young couple can handle or operate this kind of sessions for so many weeks continuously, consistently. You don't believe, a lot of preparation has to be done in the background, and this couple really are blessed with this kind of special quality which really inspired me. If young couple like this can do this much contribution to society selflessly, and why we can't do, we also should do. We should also think of others selflessly. All these three things I think have changed my life. First is 3.5 balloons, means don't rush to finish task as fast as possible, but try to give them what you call fulfillment, completeness. Then go to the next task. The same case with any of your family member. Second is turn the table whenever it is possible. Try hard to turn the table. Don't complain. Just take control over the situations. Any challenges, any shortcomings, any difficulties, any challenges, just try to work on that. You will not have any complaints. Last but not the least, I learned, speak up, explore yourself, explain yourself, be open-minded, be clear with others, be fair, don't hide. There is nothing secret in this life. You are same in the 700 crores of people. You are not special. The same problems everyone have. No secrets, be fair, and try to inspire people as much as possible, like our young couple, Rahul and Pragna is doing. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, sir. I think there's little that I can add to that. Only the point that when you said it's about me and Pragya, what we are doing with this initiative is simple. We are leaving a drop. If you're a lotus, it'll shine through. If you're a pan, it'll just evaporate. The beauty of it is in who you are and how you are taking it. We are just that drop, I would say, where we are trying to spark it up. I've seen the beauty emerging in many people that I see here, especially in today's meeting, and many people who haven't joined today for different reasons, and we have lost them in the journey. Lost them, not that they didn't want to come, that everyone has their own life and have their own challenges that they're going through right now in this environment. And so I would say we are doing little when it comes to what we are getting from each one of you. Thank you for that, sir. And I must say, 1 year back when I heard you talk, you are a different person altogether. The way you speak today, the way you're able to communicate, I'm proud of the fact that this platform has helped you open up and speak up. We are honored that this platform has helped you in that, sir. And thanks for those wonderful learnings. Thank you. Who's going up next?
Sir, I would like to go next.
Go ahead, Shreya. Shreya, the camera a little down on your face, please, if it's possible. Yep.
Yes.
Because in the TikTok videos, I see a complete different Shreya. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shriya. I joined this club during the lockdown time. This was an amazing journey with the Speak Up Club and Living Life, and with the beautiful people Rahul sir and Pragya ma'am. Every session that I attended had an amazing takeaways which are important in my life. There was one session which I loved a lot, and it made me think. I had a long thought process. The sir said that we live only if a person lives only 25 years, but that person is not buried until 75 years. It means that if only we live only for some time, don't know what's happening in this pandemic also, but we are living for some time and we are making the most of it. And whatever we do in our life, if it is 25 years or 15 years, we need to make good things and we need to make most of it, and we need to realize and the importance of people. We need to learn many lessons in our life. Whatever we do, we need to get every person need to get a smile on this face when they remember our name. I love this session a lot. Maybe it was a session named Unwinding Passion, and I loved that session. It was a very beautiful memory. And through this session, my thought process changed a lot, and I got to know about many things. I realized a lot. Before, I would have a fear of speaking in front of many people, but now I overcome it through these sessions and my confidence, and I don't have that fear right now. I have also learned to the how to handle situations during the times, and realized my goals and what we need to do next in our life, and how do we need to think, and how do we need to implement the things. I would like to thank Rahul sir and Pragya ma'am for taking such beautiful initiative to educate people during hard times of lockdown. Thank you.
Thank you, Shreya. I think you have come a long way too. And like I said, it's only a spark. And I would request everyone who's speaking here, I would request everyone to please ignore any reference to us, me or Pragya alone, because I think it's not just us. It's about the platform and how each one of us, despite me or Pragya speaking for a large time, I think Hasanuddin sir, Uma ma'am, or Rabia, the contributions that they have are equally important. And like I said in the last session, I have my selfish motive. If I'm speaking for, even if it's 40% of the time of the sessions, I'm listening to 60%. And you are feeding me with all that you have. And that is what is coming out in the sessions that follow through. So let's move ahead. Who's coming up next? Anyone? And again, the reference here is clear. It need not be only about the Speak Up Club or these sessions. It can be any life experience that you've had and you'd want to share a lesson that I think, or you think that it can help the people over here deal with their life in a better way. Anyone? Go ahead. So Shubhadra ma'am, Talat, Shreya, Sai Krishna, Rabia, Pooja, Abdul sir.
Hi.
Yes, sir. Abdul sir, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I would, if I look back many, many years back, I could recollect one very important event in my life, which keeps troubling me even until today. There was a time when I finished my mechanical engineering degree, and I had an entrance examination for my next level of education. I had a couple of months' time, and somehow I just kept delaying my studies, my preparation, and eventually the day of the examination came, and I was so depressed, I was so upset, I did not even go for the examination. And had I written that exam after good preparation, and had I obtained that qualification, probably my life would have been different. The past 30 years plus, I have always been thinking about it and always have been regretting, and I am living with that guilt of my life. I would like to share on this platform with all the attendees that do the right thing in the right time. Then success is your slave. This is a saying by someone. So I had been actually advising, I had been suggesting to my children all the time that do the things at the right time, and then you will never regret in life. Do not procrastinate. Don't keep procrastinating things. The thing has to be done, finish it at the right time, and then success will be very easily achievable. Thank you.
Thank you, Abdul sir. I think not just limiting to the young ones over here, or the students, but I think for everyone, it's an important lesson. Doing the right thing will always have its fruits. It may be painful sometimes in the short term, but that is something that it'll help you look up to yourself. Thank you, Abdul sir, for that wonderful lesson that you have shared. It's going to stay and inspire for a long time. Who's coming up next?
May I?
Rabia, just you can go next. Harish, welcome to the session. It's an open mic session where we are each one of us is sharing an experience either from the Speak Up Club initiative or from your personal experience, which you feel is a lesson that you would like to share with people and something that can help them, someone like as young as a 15-year-old Akansha, or even for someone who's over 50 or retired, with Uma ma'am or Abdul sir or anyone, Hassan sir. There are a lot of people. So
yeah,
we'd like to listen to your story.
Great, Rahul. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Rabia, go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. This is my I feel tonight, as this is my second session, because I took a break in between and then I have restarted as per my life, I can say. So this session is very close to my heart. From the time I started off the first session of mine, I can say that is the last week, because that was the turning point of my life, where I have pulled myself after listening to, I think, the chief guest, and then Rahul and Pragya, both of them have pulled me up from the depth of the ocean to the upper layer, I can say, or a wave of my life. And let everyone know about it, that this journey started, it's not from the time that living life started off with a session of Zoom meetings, but it is a long ago, when for the first time I happened to meet the great personality, I can refer him to be, that is Mr. Rahul. I have been working, and I'm working at exhibition grounds at Kamla Nehru Polytechnic, being a lecturer. So we were invited by the Exhibition Society. If any special occasion happens, so we will be the first one to be called for any occasion to be the guest of it. So on behalf of the Exhibition Society, we were extended an invitation stating that there is a communication skills workshop for a day where we all were invited. So I had a thought whether we should go for it or not, because we were a little tired of thinking of finishing with our classes and all. But just something clicked in my mind that it's regarding communication skills. That is real, means very close to our profession. And as a teacher, we teach every day. But as a learner, if we go, we may imbibe many things. We may uh, get a chance to learn the things from others too. So after a long time, I'm going to be like a student, as what I felt on that day. And then along with my all other colleagues, we all happened to attend that workshop. And you won't believe that when I had been there and I was just looking up to all the participants who were there, I don't know why I had a thought that Rahul sir was very much sitting next to my table. When I looked at him, I thought him to be a like participant itself, like a guest who had come to look up for the session. I never knew that he is the speaker, one of the speakers. So the moment he was called for a speech, when he stood up and went off, I was really shocked to see. And at that time, and now also everyone, Pragya and both of them very young enough and look very handsome and attractive too. So when I looked at him, I was just, I just, oh my God, yeah, I thought he is just a guest, but he's a participant, means he's the speaker. And when he started, there was no other go, I can say. It was just flawless. It was just going on and on. And the same thing I carried back along with me. I took away that thing, whatever he spoke of. And when I came back, my daughter was very small at that time. So when I came back home, I just couldn't.
Rabia,
Yeah.
don't share that. If you want, I'll share that audio. I have it with me.
Okay, yeah, I know that you have kept it saved. I know. I got the feedback from you, and I was so happy to know that you have kept it safely, and it was just close to you too, as it is close to me too. So when I shared with my daughter, she was too small. She too was delighted to hear about it, and then the moment, you won't believe, she herself told me, "Mama, when you have such a strong feelings and you felt so happy about it, then why not you share with it? So let's give us a feedback." And there was a feedback was there to be given as such when we got the link of it. And at that moment itself, we both started off, and I think it is her voice, right? She gave the feedback, and it was so good to it. And from that journey continued till this 50th session and 51 session. And I wish it to go on for lifelong, because you both are so close to my heart. I can say more than my family members. And everything, whatever happens, I share with you all. And I feel light and I feel better. So I wish every luck and good luck. And I wish that both of you may be blessed by God and your family too, to take care of the rest of the families to whom you're calling on every Saturday. Saturdays are special because of you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabia. I think you still remembering that session and bringing it up is an honor to me. Thank you. So
my pleasure.
Let's move on to the next speaker. Towards the end, if we have time, I'll share that audio of her daughter and what she shared on that day. It's a fond memory that I keep with me still, because coming from a young one, I think she's way too young to be speaking so maturely and giving a feedback. I love that, and I'm going to cherish that for a lifetime. Yes, who's coming up next?
Thank you.
Hi, Rahul Prakash. Good to see you here again today. By the way, Rahul Prakash joins us from the boats. He's generally traveling, and he's on the ships all through, and still he makes an effort to join us. Hi, Rahul. And okay, that's not the real. It's a virtual.
Hi, everyone.
Yes, Rahul. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I'm here again. I'm joining here after maybe 5 weeks, 4 weeks. I'm not sure. Right now, in the middle of the sea, having some issues with the bandwidth. That's why I'm not skipping out my. And sometimes I'm not able to join because of that only. I just joined, so just going through what is happening over here.
Sure. Thanks, Rahul. We'll look forward to listening to your perspective or any learnings that you have had, or anything that you'd like to share with all of us. There's a disturbance. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. Who's coming up next? Uma ma'am?
So Saturday nights have never been so special for me. I don't know how I got in touch with this group, maybe through a common group of communication incubators. That is what I think. And what all have I gained from these 50 sessions? 3 things: learning, then sharing of knowledge, third one, confidence. I have gained much more than that. I have seen the commitment and passion of both Pragya and Rahul, the back end work which goes on behind all these sessions. And then we have learned so many things from all these sessions. I can't pinpoint this is the session which I liked. Every session we are learning, and every session we are going deep into one particular subject. We have never thought about it at all. So these sessions have made us think more deep into every topic, and we are I feel we will miss something if you don't attend the session. In fact, when Rahul sir called me, I was just getting ready because after having joined Toastmasters recently, back to back, I'm attending Toastmaster sessions, and at home they are just what they are teasing me, saying, "What is this?" Everywhere there is sessions happening, and I owe my confidence to this group. Thank you so much, Rahul and Pragya. Keep doing the wonderful
Toastmaster
work.
Uma.
So,
Thank you, sir.
Nataraj sir also is very proud of my association with your group, and I wish more and more success to both of you. Keep rocking and sharing your knowledge.
I'll also rejoin from next week. I have also been lazy.
Okay.
I know, sir. I hope you're recovered and are feeling better now.
Yeah, he's much better.
Good,
Thank
sir.
you
Good
so
to
much.
hear.
And your sessions keep us going, and we are inspired.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yep. Who's coming up next? Who's there? Talat, Subhadra ma'am, Bhavagnya. Who's coming up? Harish? Unmute.
Good evening, all. I'm following Rahul's status or Pragya's status.
The posters only.
Yeah, posters every week, of course, and I am planning to attend from past 2-3 months. Unfortunately, I have a Telugu Toastmasters meeting on Saturday again. But yeah, today I consciously made a choice that I will come here and see what is going on, because I generally see your like status or videos. I like the concept basically, like what you are promoting and all. So I just want to be associated, or I just want to involve myself and see what's going on. Yeah, so nice to see you all, and I will also join regularly.
Sure. Thanks, Harish.
Thank you.
Yeah. Who's Rahul? We are basically looking at any lessons that you have learned from Speak Up Club, or any other things that you would like to share with the people over here, which can help them. Yes, Subhadra ma'am, go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. On 18th of April, I attended a Coastline Toastmasters Club meeting where Rahul Jain was the speaker for the day. Impressed with his speech, while he was talking, or just after he spoke, I went to see what Living Life was all about on the Facebook. Then I came to know about the Saturday night Speaking Life and all that. I came to know. Out of curiosity, I attended the next meeting on 24th. After that, I attended 4 meetings, and I think that this is my 5th meeting. Quite impressed by Rahul and Pragya and the way they are speaking, and all the members who are attending these meetings and the way they're expressing themselves. It's quite nice to listen to, especially during this pandemic, where every day when you open the WhatsApp or when you hear a phone call, a phone ringing, you don't know who is going to be there on the other end and what they are going to say. whether it's going to be happy news or sad news. Most of the time, it is sad news. Every day you're coming to know about someone or other dear and near. Either they are having COVID and they're admitted in the hospital, or they are no more. At this time, this is something which you join and where you can talk to and rejuvenate yourself. So I'm really happy to be here with you for the past few weeks. Although most of the time I don't like to talk, but I'm quite enjoying. And I do privately message Rahul Jain, but I may not be, posting on his WhatsApp page or on the Facebook. But I do appreciate what they are doing privately. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Subhadra ma'am. I think coming from you okay, I can't reveal her age, but coming from someone who's senior, it's good to know that you like the atmosphere and the environment that we're creating over here, and you feel encouraged to share. Who's coming up next? Sai Krishna Talat.
Yeah, Rahul, I'll go
Yes,
next.
go ahead, Talat.
So good evening, everyone. And this is my second session. I attended my last session maybe a month ago or so. So I really like the vibe of the sessions, we openly discuss and share our perspectives. So I want to congratulate Rahul and Pragya, you have been doing it for a year now. So congratulations. And the learning that I want to share from my life is to never stop learning. Many times I see my own mother saying that, okay, now it's not my age to learn anything new. I can't learn anything new. That really saddens me. We should never stop learning, and at least not thinking about our age. If you have interest, please go ahead and learn. Do what you like. That's my learning. And that's what I wanted to share. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for Talat for sharing that. I think this reminds me of my mother. She's 55, 56, and only recently, because she was handicapped, that nobody could take her to a temple, and she always had to depend on someone to take her to a temple. At the age of 53, she started learning an Activa.
Super cool, Rahul. So cool.
And today she shares me a picture with her best friend, who's almost like the similar age, 53, 54, sitting on her back or behind her Activa, and they're roaming around. We come from a native, from a place called Narsapur, which has a coastline of the Godavari River. So there's like the Necklace Road in Hyderabad, there's a road over there. And because of the lockdown and situations, the only thing that they can do right now is she makes us sit on her Activa backseat, and she takes a drive every day evening and has that enjoying long drive and come back to the home for a break that she does. And it only tells me that age is just a number.
True.
Age is just a number, and the limitations that we put. Even I have even more fascinating stories where someone, I don't know this personally, I read it somewhere. There was a story about an 87-year-old who could not complete her graduation because of different limitations and situations that she faced. At the age of 86, she rejoined the class. She went on to become a graduate. And after 2 days of her graduation, she expired. And she had a whole bunch of teenagers at her funeral, and people were surprised of what has she taught these teenagers. A lesson that they can carry forward for the next 60 years of their life, to tell them that you can still learn at 86. And if you don't stop, there's nobody who's going to stop you. So that was a wonderful lesson that I learned from that story. Yep, who's coming up next? We have Bhavagnya, Sai Krishna, and Rahul Prakash. I'm waiting for whose audio is going to get unmuted. Rahul? Rahul, are you there? Sai Krishna and Bhavagnya. Bhavagnya, I'm calling your name right. Please don't force me to call it wrong so that you'll at least unmute and speak. Yes, Rahul.
Hi. Hey. Hi, everyone. Sorry for not switching on the video. I mean,
that's okay. That's okay. Go ahead.
No doubt. I mean, the inspiration is in front itself when I am switching on my, attending this one even from the mid-3. So definitely there is something to learn, and I'm getting no doubt I'd been getting input from by attending this classes, this meetings, and I'm not sure I had came through, as Uma Madam had said, I had also came through this group, but through Communication Incubator, and frankly speaking, when I was home, I was continuously attending the meetings and everything, but somehow because of the issues, I'm not able to. But some few times I had been in touch with the Rahul Jain also regarding different meetings and different perspectives. So it was a great learning, and thank you very much for this continuous support and meetings.
Thank you, Rahul. I know joining from middle of the sea with every opportunity that you have talks a lot about who you are and what you look forward to in life. Thank you for coming back whenever it's possible. It's always a pleasure to look at you joining, because it talks about the challenges that you're going through and still trying to join us back. So yes, we are left with Sai Krishna and Bhavasna. Ab to bolo. Okay, no issues. I think you have your choice. Let me get going with sharing a few learnings that I've had personally from this initiative, which I already shared last week. Specifically for this initiative, I've already talked about the learnings that I've had. The 3 things which I shared last week, which were about the power of deadlines, the power of pushing ourselves even when you can't see the future, and finally the power of perspectives, of how each one of us is different, and it's possibly a perspective that we don't think of, that we don't come across, and something that could help us change the perspective in the way we are thinking. That's the idea behind the initiative and my learnings from that. On a personal note, the things that I personally learned about, or these are something that I would like to call a lesson for life. Last year, 27th of June, 28th of June, my father was in ICU. And I think we had a session on 30th of June, and I was up here and talking. The lesson that I learned on that day was, you need to have something in your life, professionally, personally, whatever you're doing, however, whether it's making money for you or it's just something that you're engaging yourself in. And that can only come when you have a passion for it. Passion can help you heal, can help you forget the world, and can also make you responsible. There are a lot of instances where we had this choice of cutting off the sessions or taking a break for a day or for a week, for a month, doubting whether we want to continue this or not. And there were situations that came up. But that one time when my father was in ICU and I was still doing the session, it taught me that what passion can do to you. People often think that, or tell that, do it passionately, get some passion in your life. But more often than not, people don't realize that the passion is something that owns you. You don't have a passion. The passion owns you. Today, if I'm doing something, it's because not that only I want it. If it was only I wanted, then I could have skipped a few times. But the passion is something that is driving me, that is keeping me on and fueling me to do the things that I'm doing. That's the first lesson that I've talked of. The second lesson that I want to tell is about the people that I've come across and the lesson that I've learned from the people that I see right here in this meeting, and a few who could not join today. Uma ma'am for the age that she has and the way she has fought and responded with COVID, and the way she is back up and running yet again teaches me a lot. When Rabia said it's a second session today, after the last week's break or a change that has happened in her, it talks me about the power of rebirth. Rebirth with a change in perspective. When I look at Akanksha, for the age that she has, 15 years, attending 50th session of the 51 Saturday nights, it tells me the drive has to be within you. When I look at Shreya, the energy that she brings in, the expression that she has, and her Insta videos, and the way she personifies the youth today, it teaches me something. When I look at Hasanuddin sir, his age, his experience, his challenges, despite all those things, talking of those 3 lessons that he learned from pretty young couple, teaches me something. When Rahul Prakash joins from the middle of the sea, it teaches me something. When I see people pursuing the passion, we invited 3 people whom we knew personally to come and share their story about pursuing a passion with a job or without a job, or in the entrepreneurial world, seeking money from it or seeking it just for the sake of the passion and pursuing it. It teaches us something. The things that each one of you all have expressed today have taught us something. And what I've realized with this initiative is that we can all change the way our life is in reality and in perception based on the perspective that we carry forward. It's often said that it's not how a conversation ends that matters. We could have a lot of conversations, deep conversations, but the problem is, or the real possibility of any conversation is in how it rests within you. Because the end of a conversation is a moment. How it rests within you is an attitude that you're building. I think that's something that I would say I've learned from this initiative. Before this initiative, I did not know this. I always just think, how is it that we're talking? What is it that's impacting? But today I realize what each one of you all have shared might be an end of conversation now. But tomorrow, a week later, a month later, the lessons that you learned, the things that you shared, the way they rest in me is what creates the world of possibilities for me. And thanks to you for sharing those. That was the purpose of this session of talking about the lessons for life. With that, I have Pragya to join in. Before that, Harish, go ahead.
Hi, Rahul.
Yes.
So after listening to your story, I just reminded something similar to this. You know, this Telugu Toastmasters journey. So 6 months back, the initiative started and people were very few. Like we used to get 5 people, 6 people to the meeting. And the getting role players was even more challenging. Like with 2 people, we used to manage a meeting. Like one person is taking up 3 or 4 roles. It so happened that sometimes we wanted to cancel the meeting because we don't have a role player, we don't have guests. So what if we can even cancel a meeting? We thought that way, but that never happened. We never canceled the meeting and it went ahead. And as you know, the club has been chartered, and today the meeting is happening with more than 30 members, 30 participants. So as you said, if you persist and continue your effort, the results are bound to come. Thank you very much. And thank you, Pragya. Hi.
Thank you, Harish, for joining. And hello, everybody. Am I clearly audible and visible to all of you? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so till now we have had all the fun stories and all the great things that has happened, but today, because this particular session's name was Lessons for Life. I'm not sure if Rahul has informed you or not, but I lost my maternal grandmother day before yesterday night. And she was the one who has raised me. My mom was she's a working woman, and I've stayed quite less with my mom, but more with my nanny. So whatever I have learned, whatever you all listen to from my mouth is something which she speaks, I would say. And since yesterday, when I was thinking about her all the time, more than missing her, I was thinking about the learning she has imparted in me and the kind of person she had made me. And that was one reason that I wanted to share those learnings with all of you today, because now when I look back, initially, like every kid feels that our parents are just eating our head, and maybe they're just trying to tell us things which would never be of any importance. They don't know us, they don't understand us, but yes, they do. So here are my few lessons which she imparted in me. And when I was trying to put it into picture, it seemed to me as a present for me from her. The first thing which she told me, a life lesson which I learned, is that pain is something which will always be a part of our life. When we lose people, when we lose things in our life, when we lose situations out of our hands, as simple as losing in an exam, losing a contract, losing a friend, there's so many other things that gives us this pain. And when we are in that pain, what we understand is that nothing was worth, it was not meant to be, or maybe I'm not good enough for that. This is the first thought that comes to our mind when we see this thing and when this pain arises in us. But what she always told me was that pain will subside, but the emotion that you would carry of your failure with that pain will burn you more later on. She was somebody who always kept telling me that never give up to your pain in your life. And trust me, when she was suffering from COVID right now, I could see her on video. She was in deep pain, as we all know how this disease is giving. But still she was smiling and she was telling me that everything is going to be fine. And that moment is something which I learned a lot from. Mostly we all give to our pains. One lesson which she kept telling me throughout my life was, she used to call me Bittu, that's my pet name. So she always used to keep telling me that, Bittu, remember to rise. It is so easy to fall in life. It is so easy to say that I give up. It is so easy to say that I'm not worth, I'm not good enough, I can't do it. But she always told me, remember to rise, however old you are. She was 83 now, almost 83. And still she used to tell me that, teach me Facebook. I want to write stories now. I want to write stories of my life. And she did start writing stories. And she used to tell me that, one day I will become a writer. And that is something which taught me that somebody at the age of 82 is not ready to give up, but still ready to rise, is something which I am left with right now. And I hope this is something which you would also try to follow. Don't look at your age. It's just a number. Be it Akanksha, be it Hasnuddin sir, be it Uma ma'am, anybody, it's just a number. If you decide you don't want to give up to that number, you're doing it right. Another learning which she always kept on telling me, that embrace people around you, embrace their situations, embrace your situations all the more. Embrace whatever is happening around you. Because the time you start confronting it, that's the time you start messing up things with your own mind. Think about the times when you would have always complained about people that, somebody is not doing things right to me. Why are they behaving like this? Why can't they do things like this? I was expecting this from somebody. We all do that, right? I have done it. I have done it a lot. And whenever I used to do it, my nanny always used to tell me that just embrace the situation which is then. The more you try to fight it, you're not hurting anybody else. You are just hurting yourself more and more deep inside. At times we shout, we are frustrated, and we tell why somebody is doing something. But are they actually listening to it? Or is it our own heart that is just echoing the thing which we are speaking? And everything, every of that feeling is just staying inside us, killing us more and more. Another lesson which I am still not able to understand, maybe with time, with the way I grow up, I will understand, that she always used to say that surrender. And I always found it quite intriguing that one side you're asking me to embrace things and you're asking me to understand everything, and other side you're asking me to surrender. What does that even mean? Just before, if you all remember, I went to Jaipur in between when Rahul told me that I was in Jaipur. So I was having a talk with her, and I literally asked her that, I'm getting very confused with what all you keep telling me, and it does not go into my head. What does this mean? Then she told me that surrender to your heart. It will never go wrong. The most problems that arise in our life is because we always are in a conflict between our head and our heart. Our heart says we want to do something, but our head starts giving logics. All logics which you would want to give as an excuse to something. We don't surrender to the most important feeling of our life, the most important emotion of our life, which is anger. We feel that it's a negative emotion. And she used to tell me that, surrender to even anger, because till the time you're not taking it out, till the time you're just subduing it inside, you are just suffocating yourself a lot. Just now think about the times when you have really been angry on things and you've tried to subdue that emotion and think that, no, we need to do things for others, and the kind of suffocation and depression which you would have felt inside. I used to go through that a lot, and that's why she made me understand. I still don't understand it that much, I know, but maybe, Uma ma'am and Abdul sir and all who are at that stage, maybe you can understand what this subduing of anger inside does to us. So this was the initial things which she always kept telling me. Another thing which she told me was that your emotions are too powerful a weapon. Too powerful a weapon. They can either make you or break you. She was somebody, I never saw her crying over losses. I never saw her having that kind of an imbalance which we all go through. At least I am somebody who goes through a lot of imbalances. Suddenly I'll be angry over a thing, and suddenly I'll be depressed over a thing, and suddenly I will feel that, just let everything go. Suddenly I will feel that, no, I want to hold up to everything. I don't want to let things go. And I think this is one emotion which all of us go through. There's always a juggling, a kind of a mixture going of emotions inside us in different situations. And many times when we are too frustrated, a situation comes where we are not able to manage or balance these emotions. So that is what she always kept telling me, that emotions are too powerful. If you give them control, they are like monsters. They will just eat you up. And yes, it does, because last 2 days I was just crying and I was trying to give up that, to my emotions, I would say, because it's too heavy a loss for me. But yesterday I had a contest. I had my, table topics district semifinals, and I was about to message that I want to give it. I don't want to go for that contest, and I'm withdrawing from that. It's not a very big deal. You can, you want to compete, you can compete, you can leave, that's your choice. But the only thing which I remembered then was that there are two very powerful emotions that you can do for anybody. One is an emotion of sadness which breaks you, and second is the emotion of sadness which makes you. I chose the second one because I think none of our loved ones, I am talking about my mother. But even if it is about our husband or anybody around us, no one would ever want you to give up to an emotion which is breaking you and not making you. That's when I stood there. I know it was hard. I was crying 2 minutes before I was about to speak. I cried the hell out. I delivered the speech and I switched off the camera and I cried like anything. But for those 2 minutes, I was using her power. I was using her teachings to make me and show it to the world that I am what I am because of that person. That person has made me something. Because tomorrow, I would not want anybody to tell it that because you lost her that day, you could not achieve something. Will that person, anybody in your life, would they ever want to listen to that? That will be a disgrace to those people around you who always wanted you to be something. So this was a very, very effective thing. Remember this thing always, that if you are going through a pain, I understand the pain of losing, but if you are going through that emotion of pain and that emotional state, always choose. You want the emotion to make you, or you want the emotion to break you. That will make you decide every question that comes to your mind. It will have an answer to that. And the other thing, the N of present, is never give up in any situation. She always used to tell me that she did not believe in too much of mandir puja and that kind of a thing, but she always believed in God. And she told me that he will only give you as much as you can tolerate. He will never go overboard. And he always taught me one thing, that God tests you. The last T of this present. That God tests you. And this is something which has always stayed in my heart, and I have always trusted blindly on this. This N and the T of present goes together. God tests you whether what you are willing for, what you are asking for, is it really, really something which you want in your life? Because if at that moment, if you give up, the test is over. But in that moment, the way I tried to do it, I can just tell from my experience what I tried to do. In that moment, when I was going through the worst case of my life, which was my worst fear, I would say, wasn't that my test to see whether I really want to rise for my Nani or I just want to give up? The toughest test which we all go through. And I'm sure you would have gone at some point of time through that test where you know what your parents, your mother, your father, your loved one would have really wanted you to be where. But what we do is just shut the doors and say, I can't. We give up to that test extremely easily. And that's when God says that maybe this is not exactly what you want for your loved one. Or maybe you could give up so easily. So these were the life lessons, this present, which my Nani has left for me, which will always remain with me in my heart. And these are few points which give you answer to every single trouble, every single question in your life. I would really want you all to write it on a paper, write these 7 things which are there, 7, 8, whatever number is there. Write these things and try to ask a question. You will get your answer in PRESENT. There is absolutely no question in the life where you won't get an answer. And today, if I am sitting here today and talking to you, frankly speaking, 5 minutes back, I was not in a state. But this was the only thing which I remembered, that if I give up, if I don't speak now, and I don't pass on the learnings which I have, the life lessons which I have learned from a lady who never ever gave up in her life. I haven't seen a strongest woman like her. If I give up now, I'm giving up on her, which I can't do. So please, friends, I would just say that Hang on there. I know things are difficult for all of us in different ways in life. We lose, we fear. But remember, the present will always give you an answer to all your questions. And I hope that you all have learned a lot from these 50 sessions which have happened. But I today feel that this present which she left for me yesterday has summarized all the sessions which were there, the 50 sessions which were there, in just a simple gift wrap for me. So thank you, everyone. This is the maximum which I can talk about today, but I really hope that it will give you answers. And if you're ever in trouble in your life, if you have any type of questions about anything in your life, write down presence. I'll try to put the full form of it in the group of what she said, or the full form of present. Pick up the word, the alphabet, which you feel will answer your question then, and I'm sure you will get an answer to it. And before I end, there was a very funny thing which I used to do with her, which I would really want to share with all of you. So when I was young, I was quite young, and whenever I had to decide something, I was somebody who would always fumble with decisions. She is somebody who's a perfect decision maker. I'm somebody who will always fumble on whatever I have to decide. So she used to tell me that toss a coin. I was like, yeah, this is very childish. We used to do it in our games. But she said that don't toss that coin because you want an answer, head or tail. Toss that coin because when it is in the air, you will get your answer of what your heart wants. Listen to that answer, leave head and tail, whatever comes. Listen to that answer and you will know everything which you want to do. So once you toss the coin, don't look for heads and tails. Look for what your heart really, really said that, oh, please, I wish this comes. That's your answer for life. And that's what I am doing now. Thank you everyone for listening to what I would have really, really wanted to share from her life to all of you. And I would now call Rahul to wrap up the session.
I'm back. Okay. We have Bhavagnya who's raising her hand.
Yes, sir. I want to share something.
I hope I didn't hit your ego. Yes, Bhavagnya, go ahead.
Sir, I've never participated in anything particularly, and I'm an introvert, kind of. I was afraid to talk, but these Zoom sessions, this club, has actually taught me to speak up. So that's one of the lessons I've learned. And that made me to click every Zoom link since the day I've joined. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Bhavagnya. I have one more reason to keep coming back again. I need to keep sharing that link every Saturday night. Thank you. Yes, Uma ma'am, we are pretty much done. Anything else anyone would like to share before I stop the recording and I'll share? Yes, Abdul sir, go ahead, sir.
It's so touching. Pragya's talk now, it's so inspiring and so touching. I don't have words to express my feelings actually. It's really amazing. And thank you so much, and thanks a lot to Pragya. And I'm so sorry to hear about the loss of Pragya's Nani. And congratulations on her winning the semi-final table topics contest. Congrats.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir. Uma, if you could just hold on to 5 more minutes, we'll be done and close with the session, if it's okay. Okay, wonderful. With that, I think we have had, except for Sai Krishna, pretty much everyone else speaking. Sai, this is your last chance. Okay, no issues. So with that, we come to an end of this wonderful session. I think we have had yet another Saturday night with perspectives. Perspectives about what each one of us took back from these sessions or had something to take back from your life experiences. And when you put it on the platform here, when you spoke, you gave a chance to each one of the people present over here to learn from that lesson, to learn from that experience. And that's what this initiative is all about. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. You can listen to someone's perspective. You can learn from someone else's lessons and not make the mistake to learn that lesson possibly. So with that, we come to an end of Saturday night number 51. And like I always say, Saturday nights have never been this beautiful. For the last 51 Saturday nights now, it's an honor that you keep coming back to this platform every Saturday to share your perspective, to express your perspective, to learn one more time. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.